Howdy everyone, this is Mopbot, this is the Dime Society, and welcome back to episode number 28. We're sitting here in front of the project that we worked on in last episode, and speaking of which, I probably shouldn't be sitting on top of that because it looks like this is just about to fire. This is the pumpkin and melon farm, and this works pretty simply. If you missed the last episode, all the fruit grows over here, and then we got this little update over here. So whenever the plant grows off of this, it activates all the redstone, fires everything off, and collects it. So both are pretty close to being filled right now. We got about halfway on melons, and we're really close on the pumpkins. Only missing that one, so that's telling me that this will probably grow pretty soon here. And one thing in last episode was that these fully grown stems here were green, which I thought looked weird. I didn't think that was right, but in last episode we were in version 1.9.0 using Optifine, and that's why it was green. Now we're in 1.9.2. There's no Optifine for it, so obviously we're not using it. So just using the plain vanilla, now it's that brown again. So I wasn't insane, it was just a visual glitch. And another visual glitch that I actually found that had me quite a bit worried was that all the grass blocks that were underneath here had all gotten to this level, and then it was kind of mixed in with some of the fruits, and all the pistons were still extended, so there were actually 2 layers of glass and such. Clicked on it, and it all disappeared. So, again, it was just a visual glitch, so that had me really worried, but it's a good thing that this thing actually works. It is now pumping out everything. It comes in and collects down here, and this is now hooked up with the storage unit over there. So, we got a minecart under here that is kind of just a little bit cheaty. So since this iron farm here is out of commission, and this is going to be perfect timing for this, watch this minecart here. Let's actually get in here. There, it keeps going that way. It goes over and collects over there. Because we don't need to actually be collecting from here, yeah, we just kind of cheated a little bit and used the one that was already here. So saved on quite a bit of rail. But now if we ever want to reactivate this, we're going to have a little bit of an issue. However, I don't honestly know if we will, because we have the Titanite spawn, which provides tons of iron. So, now that this thing's actually done, I want to get back up working in, what do you call it, like the Savannah horse area, sanctioned area. I don't think I've actually really ever named it. However, if we hop up there, I've got plans for today's episode to do a couple of tests for the horse. And that is for speed test and for jump test. So let's hop up there. We're not going to make it. Nope, okay, close enough. So we want to be testing to see how fast these guys are to find the fastest horse. We also want to find the highest jumping horse. So I've got tests built for both of them in kind of like a testing world here. And this is going to be fairly large, and it's just going to be basically a long racetrack, basically a drag strip for horses. And it's going to test how fast they are. It's going to measure it in items. So it's going to start right about here and then go all the way to the end. And then we'll have the jumping one over here too. I thought this would be a pretty good area because we do have quite a bit of straight area. And then we just got kind of like this like cut back here. So for having the more vertical one for the jump test, I think that'll fit pretty well back here. It shouldn't take up too much room, although the other one's going to have to go down a bit, so hopefully we don't hit anything important underneath here. Okay, so here we have now the straightaway. Pretty straightforward in how it works. But yeah, it's just we're going to hit the plates here, come down, hit the plates at the end, and that's going to be basically the whole timing. Once we hit this, it's going to start a clock, and then hitting that at the end is going to stop the clock. So we have the area now underneath all dug out. And see, one thing to do when you're working in different layers like this that's really helpful, when you need to mark off a certain block, like where we have the pressure plates above, use a different block so that underneath you can tell exactly where that is. So now I know that underneath this polished andesite here and down there at the end that we need to drop down one block and then have the redstone dust on top of that to detect whenever we hit that plate above it. So this should hopefully be enough room. That redstone's not terribly difficult to do, although we will unfortunately have just a little bit of exposed redstone. I think we have like 1 redstone dust right here, and then we probably have like a dropper or something facing up that you'll be able to see, but that shouldn't be too big of an issue. Maybe we'll be able to find a way to kind of blend it in or something. But anyway, this path here for now is just all the coarse dirt. I am going to end up mixing in some other blocks when we start getting to more kind of like the decorating part of this, and I'll probably mix in like some spruce wood and soul sand and other stuff, just to kind of make it look a little bit more muddy, like it's an actual kind of racetrack and not just matching what we have over here for the roads. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the redstone. Like I said, it's pretty simple. It shouldn't be too hard, although I always seem to mess up redstone in survival. Okay, so here we have a quick shot at the redstone, and I'll get to explaining this in a minute. It is really simple how it works. It took me almost no time at all. Planning stuff out really helps a lot, as opposed to just trying to create it on the go, especially in survival. So let's hop back up here and actually show you how the system works first. So if we're sitting right here, and you want to start just a little bit back, because you want to be running at full speed when you hit that first pressure plate. Now we want this light to be on. This light is on, means that the system's ready to go. This hopper's locked, and all the items that are going through to measure how fast you're going are just going to stay in here, because that hopper won't actually be able to draw anything out. So let's run back here, and let's just sprint right through. So I'm just going to hold forward, go all the way through. Now it should be 4 items. I've tested this a lot. And I haven't seen any inconsistencies. Okay, so we hit that final pressure plate. Now the system's going to be off. If we go back up to the front and we look in the chest, we should see 4 items. That should be the speed of the player. Yeah, so here we go. We got 4 items. So then to empty those items after measuring them and to start the system up for the next run, flip the lever off, and then it's just going to empty them out and then flip it back on. So whenever it's on, remember we're ready to go. Let's go back down there now. And I'll actually show you how the redstone works if I could get in here. So when you hit the first pressure plate, which is right here, we're going to hit this redstone line. That's going to go into this little clock here. This is just a really simple repeater clock going around in circles. I had used a hopper clock. This is going to make it a lot easier though, because we can just use the piston to turn it off. So every time it hits this block, it's going to hit that torch and go into this torch tower, which is then, oh, this is hard to work around here. So it's going to power this block, which is going to shoot the items out of this bottom dropper. And yeah, 64 items is very excessive. The player's only 4 items. Horses are even faster. But then they're going to go into this dropper, get powered by this dust, and then they're going to go into this chest. And they're just going to sit there, because remember, this hopper is powered from that little lever right there. So when we come down here, we're running all the way down. When we hit that end right there, it's going to power this redstone line. It's going to go all the way down into this decay circuit. And, oh, left my block there. That's good. So this little decay circuit, really simple. Line comes in, full strength right away. So this torch is going to turn off. It's going to slowly tick down, lower and lower, until it hits to 0. Then this torch turns back on. But while it's off, this line is off. This piston is retracted, which means that this circuit is now open. It's going to turn off. By the time this torch turns back on, when this signal strength hits 0, then the torch will, the piston rather, is going to extend, put the back, but there's not going to be any power left. So the system's going to be completely stopped and no longer measuring. So when we come back, we can actually see how many items we have in here. So now let's go ahead and test it with a horse. Okay, so as far as I know, this is my fastest horse. Now, if we have a lot of really fast horses and we want to find their exact speed, this circuit might not be the best, because we might just get, like 1 or 2 items for each of them. Hopefully it'll be pretty accurate though. So let's just go ahead, we'll sprint. There goes the first one. Gosh, I hope I emptied the system. There's the second one. Let's head back. I'm predicting 2. Can we jump the fence? No, this guy's not a jumper. 3. Okay, so it is a little bit faster than the player. Not a ton faster, although that is fairly slow circuit. I'm just going to empty this out. And then, let's see, there we go. I'm going to hit the first one. You can actually see how slow the clock actually goes. Yeah, this is not horribly fast. So that's 1 item every time this is hit. We could have used a faster circuit and, used like a burnout clock or something and gotten a lot more accurate. So we'd have like 17, 18 items per go for this guy. Maybe like, 26, 27 for me. Let's not run off there. So anyway, now it's time to test the jumping. And if I remember, this guy doesn't even get his feet off the ground. I can't really see from this angle. Back here. Yeah, kind of. Little hops. Nope, not going anywhere. Alright, well, it's not the prettiest looking thing. It's also really not a redstone contraption at all. So it's a good thing it's off in the corner, I guess. We'll kind of hide it up with some other decorations. But let's go ahead and just put my body in here at first and see how it works. Just like we did with the other one. So let's see. Let's sit right here. Right away, the 2 lights at the bottom light up because our player is 2 blocks tall. Let's go ahead and jump. We do have jump boost around here. Oh, wait. Do we have jump boost right now? I don't think we have jump boost right now. Let's go ahead and jump. Oh, we get up to... Maybe we do. Does it not show me? I don't think I have it. Okay, so, yeah, it goes up to there. My top of my head must just hit it. Let's go over and grab a horse. This is the better jumping one. Skeleton horse. Here we go. So right away it's 3, because when the player sits on top of the horse that is 2 blocks tall, we're 1 block tall, so that's going to be 3. So let's get it right here. Jump all the way up. And 4. Can we get any higher? I'm not always good at jumping with these guys. I don't think we're getting to 5. No, I don't think this thing's going to go up to 5. Oh, wait, was that 5? I think that was 5. Alright, well, yeah, this one wasn't quite as bad as the other one. I like this one a lot more. I didn't remember if I actually left that running from before or not. I'm going to go around this guy back over there now, and we do need to start decorating up this area. I think I'm just going to bring a path over and have it come from probably right about here. And then that'll just come right on up, run into here. It'll also kind of fork off to here. And then because we come out, we kind of run back around the side. I think we'll just have a path that comes from the end, bring it right back over, and then kind of, again, just kind of like fork off, and then maybe like a tree in the middle, and kind of like a 4-way thing going on here. We'll see what I come up with. So once we start putting up some trees around this thing, I think it kind of hides it a little bit better. It blends in a little bit better. It also just kind of doesn't poke out as much. Having some tallness behind it too makes it so that it's not just kind of like upright. It kind of looks a little bit more natural, like it fits in a little bit better. But we just added around some of those acacia trees. I think that looks pretty cool. I was gonna try oak, and then I realized up here we should just use these things because it just looks kind of more like savannah-ish. And then we also put a couple of the hay bales around here. Did have to go out and get some wheat for that. Was kind of completely out of those things. Kind of used them all inside my base. Just kind of a weird place to put them. But then we also dotted a few out here as well to just kind of keep with that flow. And then got this big old dirt area right here. Path going back, like I said. The only thing about this tree, though, is it might be too low. Now, obviously, we can ride a horse under here and we won't take any damage because they are leaves. Although, my head is going to go right through those things. But I guess that's not that big of a problem. Under these carpets, then, we also have the jack-o'-lanterns for some lighting, so it'll never get dark in this area. And then just added a little bit of bone meal around here. I hadn't done that at all up here, and that's because I don't know how much I was actually going to put up. Although, in this area, there's not a whole lot of room for other buildings. So I just kind of dotted it around, left some space in between it, just like one here, skip a few blocks, put another one. So we do have kind of a combination of just the regular grass, and then some of the tall grass. And then going back here, a few more trees back here, and again, that was just to kind of help with the height difference that was just looked very, very odd before. But anyway, I haven't changed this path over yet. And I didn't go and find some soul sand. Got some regular dirt as well. I don't know if the grass spreads to it. If it does, maybe it won't be that big of a problem. If it is, of course, we can change it. It's not going to be that hard to just pull it out. Although, I think I'm just going to start probably like right about here. And then, see, yeah, we got the spruce wood as well. I kind of want to put that in there. See, I don't know how well that'll work. Maybe it does. I wish, though, that the lines would change depending on the alignment of it. So I think I'm going to kind of just like not use it as much. Gonna kind of just use them very infrequently. Over here we got a bit of wood. Oh, that's not the right thing. No. Can we get out? Oh, no. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Let's put another one of these there. Nope. That's better. So then, let's see. We're just gonna kind of keep doing that all the way down. We'll get a couple of carpets in there as well. Oh, maybe not right there. Yeah, that did not look very nice. Let's see. Let's probably do it instead here as well. Dirt, and let's put that on top of it. So the dirt actually blends in, of course, really well because we're using it next to the coarse dirt. Can't even really tell the difference other than one's just a little bit darker than the other. So you do that, and then, okay, I'm not going to do this whole thing on camera, but that's kind of what this thing will look like. I think it looks pretty cool, and that's going to keep going all the way down. And now that this thing is done, it definitely does look muddy, kind of beat up. I was contemplating doing that for the whole area, although I'd much rather keep this all kind of clean looking and this a little bit more beat up and muddy looking. So I think it works pretty well. I do like how it looks, although what I mentioned in, I think it was 2 episodes ago, maybe 3, is that this farm over here, the food farm, is extremely powerful. It outputs quite a lot of food, and yet again, we have one to fill up. So the carrots filled up a bit ago, and that was the last change that we had to make, where we were filtering out all the carrots so that it didn't overflow and back up the system. You know, that goes all the way up. Beetroot's getting really close, and now potatoes are completely overdone. So we're never gonna have to worry about that again. But let's come down here, and nope, let's click on that one. Yeah, potatoes, absolutely lots of them. All this thing. I'd bet a few hoppers back as well. I keep clearing this thing out, and more keep piling in. That's how fast this thing is. There's lots going into it. I can't even imagine what we could do with that many potatoes. But now we need to filter them out, just like we did with all the carrots. It's going to be the exact same thing here. And if I can actually find where to go. Okay, let's go down here. So, very simple sorter here. We did the carrots. Now we have to do potatoes. And it's all going to filter into the same thing. Not exactly sure. Probably going to have to move some of the redstone around, though. Because if we have this pointing off in that direction, we're going to hit some redstone. That might be just a bit of a challenge, but it's going to filter right into this dropper here. And then it's going to come down and chuck it on top of that cactus and destroy it so it doesn't actually back up the system. And potatoes back to there, flowing in. Might be good-ish. Okay, it's not reached back here yet, so that's good. Okay, it was a very easy fix. All we did was push this over one more block so that we have enough room to then take this over, push it into that same stream, and then drop all the items into this dropper. So right here, we are taking out all the potatoes, and then they're just going to go right back in there. So we should have no more overflow. We do actually, before I forget, should probably clear out the rest of them. And, okay, there's the rest of these spawned. Holy cow, that's a lot. Okay, we might be standing here for just a little bit, because there is apparently quite a bit in here. Yeah, okay, so that's still flowing through, so we'll have to get rid of the rest of them so that doesn't cause any issues later. But anyway, hope you all enjoy. Go and subscribe for more. But anyway, this has been MopBot, and I'll see y'all next time.